Meanwhile, former Manchester United striker Wayne Rooney is out at Birmingham City. It was a controversial appointment when he was taken on because Birmingham were doing well. They were 6th in the table since then. They've been in absolute freefall and they sit 20th now, just 5 points above the drop zone. This is his record, just the 2 victories he had in those 11 matches. There's some goals against, and there's some draws, I'm sure, in there as well. That's good. Meanwhile, this is what he had to say. Football is a results business, and I recognise they have not been at the level I wanted them to be. However, time is the most precious commodity, and a manager requires, and I do not believe 13 weeks was sufficient to oversee the changes that were needed. Is it just the case you're coming in already behind the 8 ball a little bit, and the club's not struggling, and then everything goes wrong?
Listen, generally when you get a job, the team is struggling.
Yeah, exactly.
So to be sitting 6th in the league, I wouldn't suggest, with half a season to go, is struggling. But when you only win 2 and 15 and you end up 2 places off the relegation, then the club really has no choice. I mean, you know, he said all the right things there. You know, he didn't complain, but he did say he didn't have a lot of time. And on the face of it, 13 weeks isn't a lot of time to make any sort of changes, really, that may work. But when you're dropping like a stone and you own the club, you're not going to think about that. You're going to think about relegation and you're going to change it.
And the name only carries so much weight, Jack.
Yeah, I'm surprised it took so long. I'll be honest with you. And I get your point. I get Wayne Rooney's point that 13 weeks isn't a long time. But you are tasked with taking Birmingham City from a playoff contender in the Championship to automatic promotion, and instead, you kind of flirting with automatic relegation. What changes were you trying to implement? And so, as a result, it comes as no real surprise. Again, the only surprise is that it took as long as it did.
We've seen it quite a lot, haven't we, with some of these English stars, Frank, the likes of Lampard, Gerrard, Rooney now as well, that just because you were so successful on the pitch, on the sideline, it isn't necessarily a given.
Of course. I mean, you need something special. And remember Michel Platini taking the national team in the 90s and not being able to express the talent that he was expressing on the field with his mouth and explaining the football that he was feeling. And sometimes it doesn't work. So. And some other who haven't never been, or maybe just few times been football players like Arsene Wenger. He was a kind of a substitute for Strasbourg. Have been absolutely fantastic because psychologically, because they had a feeling, because they were feeling something special. Where maybe Rooney, Lampard, Gerrard, and some others, Maradona was the same thing. They weren't able to express what they were able to show on the field, and that's going to happen. But I wonder what the board of Birmingham City, why they decided to sack the player who was already 6th on the top league. That doesn't make any sense for me.